Coming to you live from the JRE Tobacco Aladino Mobile Studios, it's the Cigar Pulpit.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. I'm the Bishop of the Bird, Nick, and today we are going to be kind of talking a little bit about cigar events. We here at Pulpit Central, you know, my garage, we're already prepping, getting ready, we're going to be having the first planning session, conversation, conference call. That's the word I'm looking for. Conference call on Pulpit Fest 2025, and well, maybe not the first official. We've had some discussion. I mean, obviously these things don't start in, March and get done by August. I mean, there's some prep time prior, but this is we're buckling down. We're getting ready for it, and so I thought, I would take a moment and just kind of review cigar events and talk about, a few things. And we have some cigar event news and all that to go over as well. But first, I think we need to fire up a cigar. And today, despite the fact that it has been absolutely 100% gorgeous outside, a little cloudy, but temperature-wise, it was wonderful. I didn't get out to smoke a cigar. And as much as a tragedy as that is, I am going to be smoking something a little lighter tonight because of that. And so tonight I'm going to be firing up the Finch by Blackbird Cigars. And the Finch, I have a 5x50 robusto featuring a Sumatra wrapper, Indonesian binder, and filler from the United States of America and the Dominican Republic. And we're going to be firing this guy up and getting going here. But first, it's time to cut the cigar. And the official cutting is brought to you by 2guyscigars.com. That's the number 2guyscigars.com. Two Guys have been around for 40 years, and they are the trusted name in the cigar industry. Everybody knows Two Guys, but if you don't, please give them a try. You won't be sorry. Family owned and operated, Two Guys Cigars does the very best to provide a great selection, fair prices, and excellent customer service. So head on over to 2guyscigars.com, place your order, tell them that the Cigar Pulpit sent you. There's a little comment box there. Just put in there that I sent you over there. And remember, guys, that's the number 2guyscigars.com. And with that, it's time to go ahead and cut the cigar. So, I have some news as it relates to Two Guys. We're going to get to that in a second. But, first, I'm going to get this guy cut and lit and going. And, going to get this cigar going for the cigar podcast. And while I light the cigar, let's go ahead and hear the greatest commercial you've ever heard.
Some say cigars are all the same. It's just not true. It's you I have to blame.
Well, I don't know, 'cause what I know, there is a cigar called Aladino Corojo.
Aladino Corojo. Aladino Corojo. They say authentic, so we're not confused, while the others say it's a word that's just abused.
I guess that's so, they can't compete. At least I'm sure Aladino can't be beat.
Corojo. Aladino Corojo. Aladino Corojo. Aladino Cigars uses authentic Corojo tobacco from JRE Tobacco. This is the greatest commercial you ever heard.
Yeah. All right. So we have a cigar going. We've got some business out of the way. Now let's talk about cigar events. And so, as I said, I had a little Two Guys Cigars related news. and figured I'd go ahead and start with that, and then that way that can lead into our topic. So Saturday, I received a press release that the New England Cigar Expo is set to return on September 12th and 13th at the Dreamers Ranch in Windham, New Hampshire, celebrating Two Guys Smoke Shop's 40th anniversary. And they say that they're building upon the success of the last 2 years. They're promising this to be the largest gathering in New England, showcasing cigars, and honoring the legacy of Two Guys Cigars in and their 40 years. Now, they make some announcements about some of the people attending. They're going to have some of the, quote, best cigar makers in the industry, including Nick Perdomo of Perdomo Cigars, George Padron of Padron Cigars, Carlito Fuente of Arturo Fuente Cigars, Oliver Novo of United Cigars, Rocky Patel of Rocky Patel Cigars, Terrence Riley of Aganorsa Leaf, Eric Newman from J.C. Newman, Justo Aroa from Aladino, and Nestor Miranda of Miami Cigars. Also joining will be John Carney of Bentley Tobacco, Rafael Nodell from Monte Cristo Cigars, Glenn Case from Christoph, Rick Rodriguez from West Tampa Cigars, Steve Saka from Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust, Nelson Alfonso from Alfonso Cigars, Renee Lorenzo from HVC, Amanda McAuliffe from McAuliffe Cigars, Christian Aroa from Aroa Cigars, and Noel Rojas from Rojas Cigars. So they've got a full lineup of cigar manufacturers attending again this year. They're kicking off on Friday, September 12th, with the dinner and Hall of Fame induction and game. They've got some stand-up comedy from Boston comedian Lenny Clark. And apparently this year, the big prize is somebody's going to win, or could win, 40 days, a 40-day and 40-night stay at the Big Lake House in New Hampshire. So, there's that. Then Saturday, you have more offerings going on there, and, you get to meet all these cigar people, and they're going to have night fights featuring some of the world's top armored combat athletes vying for glory and bragging rights. So apparently we've gone from midget wrestling to strongman competition, and now this year, night fights. So I guess, are we going to see jousting on horses and shit? Or is this going to be like sword fights in the center of the tent? I don't know. I'm intrigued. They do have multiple ticket options available. You get if you do the 2-day tickets, the VIP tickets, you do get 40 cigars as part of your, entry, because you get 20 on Friday and 20 on Saturday. So that's pretty cool. And then tickets will be available for purchase starting on Saturday, May 3rd at 10 a.m. Eastern for VIP and 2-day passes. Monday, May 5th at 10 a.m. Eastern for single-day passes. So you've got a little, about 2 months. Yeah, about 2 months before it's time to, pony up and buy tickets. And tickets can be purchased online at twoguyscigars.com, as well as all Two Guys Cigars locations in Nashua, Salem, and Seabrook. So, fun and exciting stuff. I'm not going to lie. As much as I would really like to go, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to this year. That weekend it actually falls on a weekend that I have my son, and I've attempted to confer with my ex-wife about this, and conveniently enough, it also happens to fall on a weekend that she has some, thing going on of her own, so realistically, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make that switch. I don't think I'm going to, and so as a result of that, I don't know if I'm going to make the 40th anniversary this year. I made 37 and I made 39, but I don't know if I'm going to make 40. So maybe I'm in this like odd number year, kind of thing. But whatever. I mean, we'll see. We've got some time. We've got some time. But that got me thinking. Dave has been putting on this cigar party for his shop for a number of years now. Quite a few years. I don't think he necessarily started with a party on the first anniversary. I'd be curious to know, and he may have said it on a show and I've missed it. I'd be curious to know, like, when the party started. But I know it's been going a number of years, number of years. And so, it takes a lot of effort and energy to put on an event. And so that got me thinking, because I have my first, the Brain Trust, we have our first conference call, scheduled for next week for Pulpit Fest. And, it got me thinking. I'm like, what all do we need to be, doing with Pulpit Fest? And so, we made a lot of changes last year to the event, and I think that it was a welcome change. It was fun. It was hot. Don't get me wrong, but that was the venue. We definitely, made some drastic changes last year versus previous years. And I think the goal this year is to continue that and to continue the advancement and make it better. Now, I've already spoken with Renee, and, we've got the dates on his, calendar, which, by the way, for those of you who haven't heard already, Pulpit Fest 2025, August 22nd through the 24th in Palm Coast, Florida. So, it's same location. We're having it at the Ash and Ale in Palm Coast, Florida. It's August 22nd through 24th. Realistically, I will say August 22nd and 23rd. The 24th, it's the Sunday of the weekend. Last year, Sunday was super uneventful because a lot of people were using Sunday as their day to travel home. So I will be there, but there really won't be anything scheduled for Sunday. It's really Friday and Saturday that are the big days of Pulpit Fest. So, I say the 24th. Realistically, it's the 22nd and 23rd, and then the 24th if you want to hang out. And maybe you're not leaving until like Monday or something like that. So that's kind of the way that goes. But anyway, we're looking at it. We have some ideas. But I guess what I wanted to do today is put it out to you guys. Now, some of you obviously went last year. You guys will have more insight into this than others. But, what would you be looking for at Pulpit Fest? If you came to Pulpit Fest last year, let's say you're thinking about coming this year and it's going to be your first year, what are you looking to get out of it? What sort of thing is going to be the thing that makes you go, by God, that was a great event and I'm glad I went? Is it stuff? Is it experience? Is it the chance to sit and just converse with people? Like, what is the thing that you go to a cigar event and when you walk away, you're like, that made it cool? Is it flashy stuff like having, midget wrestling and night fights? Is it food? Is it like, I enjoyed that dinner. I'm glad I went. That dinner made the deal. I'm curious as to what is the thing that makes you say that an event was worth the time, effort, energy, and money that you put into it. So, to that end, shoot me an email, nick@cigarpulpit.com, Nick, N-I-C-K, at cigarpulpit.com, or shoot me a message through social media if you're on the, Facebook, whatever, it doesn't matter. Shoot me a message. Let me know. I'm curious as to what it is that makes you say that an event was cool. Because, obviously we want to make sure that we're offering everybody what they're looking for. But, we have our thoughts and everything as well. Like I went to my first cigar event that I went to was in 2019. I visited the Kansas City Cigar Festival put on by Diebel Cigars. And it was pretty cool because, it was a technically 2-day thing because I did the VIP deal. Friday night, there was a barbecue dinner with the cigar representatives that were there. It really was just reps. There were no like primaries for any of the companies. So all that happened was the local reps were there representing their brands. And anyway, so I had dinner. I got a few cigars that night. It was fun. It wasn't anything outrageous. I mean, realistically, the people that were there, I think were mostly locals. They all knew each other. So at the time, we're kind of segregated. We're kind of sitting on our own because we don't know anybody because, we're in from St. Louis. And, it was what it was. Now, I did meet a gentleman who, at the time, I believe was working for, oh, God, who was he working for? Maybe E.P. Carrillo? But he's long since gone. And, but it was a nice time. But it gave me an opportunity, too, to look around the store and kind of get to know the store, check out the humidor at the store, that kind of thing. Because then on Saturday, the next day, the event itself was on the roof of the building. So it was a multi-level building with, like, parking on the roof. And so what they did is they'd taken the parking garage portion and turned that into the event. They had tents. They had raffles going on. They had booths for all of the different cigar manufacturers that were present so that those manufacturers could be selling product, to the attendees. And, that's kind of how it went. And so, and there was food. And so, realistically, it just kind of was another party on Saturday. If you knew people, you had people to hang out with. If you didn't know anybody, you were just kind of wandering around, scoping it out, and, making a friend here and there and kind of whatever. It was fun, though. I had a good time. I got some good cigars out of the deal. And also, I ended up winning a gift basket. There was a gift basket that was put together with some prizes and attendees, VIP attendees got so many raffle tickets that you could put in for the raffles. Then you could buy additional raffle tickets, and those raffle the revenue for this, the profit, went to Big Brothers and Big Sisters. And so I dropped $50. I put in, $50, and I knew what baskets I was interested in because there were like 8 baskets, and of those 8 baskets, each one had different stuff, and then they gave us a list. The VIPs got a list of what basket contained what. We got that on Friday night, so we kind of had a little bit of an edge in that we knew what baskets we were looking for, and I had one in mind that I was. I had about 3 in mind, but I had one in particular that I was like, I'm going all in. So I put a ton of tickets into that one. And at the time, I didn't hear my name get called. I ended up having to, they called me like 2 months later, and they were like, are you ever going to pick up your basket? And I'm like, I didn't know I won. So I had to have Corey Frisbee, shout out to Corey, drive my basket from Kansas City to St. Louis so that I could pick it up. But it was really cool. I won like a big humidor. It was nice. It was a good time. And so that's something that, could be fun. Gift baskets are a lot of work. They take a lot of effort to recruit or to get the donations for the stuff inside the baskets or, that kind of thing. So I don't know, it's one of those things. I don't know, whatever. But the point is, that's just my first cigar event experience. Since then, like I said, I've gone to Barn Smokers that Drew Estate puts on. I've gone to both the old Two Guys Anniversary Party as well as a New England Cigar Expo. So I've seen how it was before, where it was just a one-night thing, and now I've seen how it is as a 2-day thing. And then obviously we've had 4 different Pulpit Fests. This will be the 5th annual Pulpit Fest coming up this year, and so I've seen a few. I haven't. I'm not going to say that I've been a big cigar event attendee. It's not like I'm going out to Rocky Mountain. I'm not going out to any of the national events like the Puros of War and things like that. But I at least know what I like, and so we have our thoughts. Again, I'm just asking, what are your thoughts? What are you looking for as somebody who's looking to attend Pulpit Fest? I will say, once we kind of get a little bit of momentum going on our end, I'll be making the announcement about when tickets are available for Pulpit Fest this year. Once I make that announcement, you're going to want to, jump on that. Tickets went super fast last year. It's going to be a little bit of a difference in the way tickets are done this year. I'm not going to get into that right now because we need to finalize up those details. But there is going to be a slight difference in the way tickets are handled this year because I think the way they were handled last year, they kind of closed out, and that was that. And then some people that got tickets didn't go, and some people that maybe would have gone thought they couldn't because they couldn't get tickets, and so it is what it is. So I will say, if you're somebody who's like on the fence about going, maybe don't snag up a ticket. If you're just on the fence, maybe make sure you're like all in, because there's people that maybe would have taken that, but whatever. It's neither here nor there. We'll move on. So the other thing I want to do, as it relates to this, is I want to keep the cigar going. I've only had to relight it a handful of times as I'm talking too much. But the other thing I want to do is I conferred with our old friend ChatGPT. And I asked ChatGPT, what are some of the aspects of a cigar festival that people look for? What makes a good cigar festival? And according to ChatGPT, they gave me 9 different things. Nine different things. So the first one, they say, is a key element. These are key elements that produce a vibrant atmosphere and engaging experience for attendees. The first one is high-quality cigars and vendors. The presence of top cigar brands, boutique cigar makers, local cigar artisans, exclusive or limited edition cigars available for purchase or included in ticket packages, and cigar rolling demonstrations by master rollers. Now, we had this covered last year, and I know we're going to have this covered this year. Last year, we not only had Renee Castaneda from Villiger Cigars on hand, we also had Trey Mack from Aladino Cigars on hand. This year, as far as I know, I need to, obviously some conferring needs to go. I know that Renee has it on his calendar. I need to confer with Trey Mack and some of the others and figure it out. There's the possibility that we might be able to possibly have another attendee. I don't know. Working on that. It's possible. But also, we had a number of really awesome manufacturers and companies that provided cigars for attendees in their attendee bags, their attendee packs. United Cigars provided cigars. Oscar provided cigars. West Tampa Tobacco provided cigars. ATL Cigars provided cigars. Oh my gosh. I know there's a lot more. Blackbird supplied some cigars. We had cigars from the League of Fat Bastards. We had some CAO cigars. We had some Oliva products in there. We had a number of brands that ponied up with cigars for the gift bags, and obviously we're extraordinarily thankful for all of them, and hope the attendees smoked them and then went home and tried to purchase them or purchase them or pursue them on their own after smoking and enjoying them, because that's the goal. We're trying to introduce you to really good cigars so that then when you go home, you say, holy shit, I really enjoyed that United cigar. I want to buy more of those. So that's the goal. So we obviously had high quality cigars and vendors already. That was covered. That was taken care of. Number 2, venue and atmosphere. Outdoor or well-ventilated venues with comfortable seating, a stylish setting with lounge areas for relaxation, cigar-friendly policies that allow for smoking in designated areas. It was at the Ashenale Lounge. And guys, I have gushed about the Ashenale Lounge in Palm Coast, Florida on here many times. It's a wonderful little shop. They have a wonderful patio out front and a gorgeous courtyard. All of it is smoke-friendly. We had no problem with the venue and the atmosphere. The only problem that I would say was that it was hotter than balls, but that's what happens when you go to Florida in August. It's just the way it happens. So I'm not super concerned about that. That's nothing Ken can do. But yeah, all in all, we had the venue and the atmosphere covered. Pairings and tastings, whiskey, rum, and bourbon tastings to complement cigars, craft beer, wine, and cocktail pairings, gourmet food offerings that enhance the cigar experience. So with Ken's shop not having a liquor license that allows for spirits, we had plenty of beer and wine on available, though. Plenty of beer and wine. And people imbibed, they took part, and that's good. So we had plenty of the pairings and tastings going on. In terms of food, there were a wide variety of food in the courtyard area. Might be talking about something for food, but we'll see. That's a down the road announcement kind of thing. Not so much a for this time, announcement kind of thing. But pairings and tastings, I think we had that unofficially kind of covered. Live music and live entertainment and activities. Live music, cigar blending and rolling workshops, panel discussions with industry experts, brand owners, and master blenders, contests, raffles, or giveaways of premium products. We definitely had some giveaways. We had some interesting events between the Long Ash contest, the tasting, the tasting panel that we did for the unreleased Villiger cigar. We started off Saturday with that. What else? We had some live music that the courtyard area was producing. So, I think we had plenty of entertainment. Networking and VIP experiences. This is something that I do want to look into the prospect of, is maybe like a VIP option. So that maybe we kind of have a little bit of extra, but that's something that we can talk about down the road. Retail and merchandise. On-site cigar shops with special festival discounts, branded festival merchandise, accessory vendors offering high-end cigar gear. Obviously, this being held at Ken's shop, Ken has all kinds of stuff that you can buy. So, given the fact that Pulpit Fest Day 1 was the best day of sales that Ken's shop has ever had, and Pulpit Fest Day 2 was the second best day of sales that he ever had, and he only missed beating the first one by like maybe a couple $100. I think that we definitely took advantage of the retail experience. So, it's one of those things that I think we had that one covered. Number 7, education and industry insights. I think that we covered this one pretty well with Renee bringing that test blend so that everybody could kind of smoke and compare the test blend to the other cigars. Additionally, because we used the 1888 Nicaragua in different vitolas for different events throughout the weekend, you got to also experience one cigar but in different sizes so that you could tell the difference between, let's say, the Corona and the Churchill and the Toro and the box press Toro, that sort of thing. So I think that we definitely accomplished some of that. I have some things in mind that I think would be good, but that's something that we can discuss later after we maybe get a few things locked down and put in stone. Comfort and amenities, a well-ventilated smoking area with shade, blah, 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 and all that. Again, it was hot. It was very hot. It was humid. It's Florida in August. We did our best. Guys, if you attend Pulpit Fest, it's Florida in August. Wear loose, comfortable clothing and realize it's going to be warm. That's all I can say. And number 9, marketing and social media presence. I mean, I promoted it. Realistically, there are things I think we could do to promote it a bit better on the back end. That's something that we're working on for this year as well. But, yeah, I mean, look, there's always things that can be improved, and there's things that we can do, and I think we're working towards those. So, anyway, that's what ChatGPT says. I'm curious about you guys. Like, what cigar events have you gone to? What cigar events have you gone to that you've really enjoyed? And what about those events have you really enjoyed? Drop me a line. Like I said, shoot me an email, nick@cigarpulpit.com. Shoot me a message on social media. Or, hell, call the hotline. Area code 863-874-0000. Leave a message. Talk to me about the various cigar events you've been to, what you liked, what you didn't like, and that kind of thing. I'm curious to know, what kind of things you're looking for in a cigar event, and so I think it'd be fun to know. So anyway, yes. So why don't we go ahead and do this? It's time for the Villiger Cigars Entertainment Report, brought to you by
Villiger.
Villiger Cigars, one of the leading cigar and cigarello manufacturers in the world, founded in 1888 and still family-owned and operated. Head over to VilligerCigars.com and check the store locator to find a shop near you that carries them. We guarantee that Villiger Cigars will be a wonderful addition to your humidor and cigar rotation. All right, guys, I got a couple things to talk about here. And first of all, we're going to circle up on a show. One that I said that I was done with. And one man brought me back to it. And the show is The White Lotus, and the guy is Walton Goggins. That dude, I love him in The Shield. I love him in all kinds of different stuff. I love him in Fallout. But by God, now he's in the 3rd season of The White Lotus. I have not gone back to watch the 2nd season of The White Lotus, but I have started and watched the first 2 episodes of the 3rd season. And while it's giving me very similar vibes to the 1st season, where I suspect at the end of it, I'm going to go, really? That was what I waited all season long for? I'm watching it, It's at least sucking me in enough to watch it. Once again, just like the 1st season, it's a whole bunch of rich people at a resort, this time in Thailand, where, quite frankly, every single one of them is extraordinarily unlikable, extraordinarily narcissistic and horrible. There's just one family on there that I just cannot, I can't stand a single one of them. Not a single one of them. The daughter is the most likable, and even she is like up her own ass in the worst way. So like it's just it's one of those shows where I can't necessarily tell you that it's good, so I can't give you a recommendation for it, but I'm just telling you I'm watching it. I think I like Walton Goggins in it because he at least seems to be calling it on its bullshit. Like he's just like, I don't want to do this. He's very against the whole resort, and he seems like he's there under protest. So for what it's worth, I kind of agree with him and his perspective, but I think he's an unsavory sort in this show too. So I don't know. For what it's worth, it's at least kept me interested for two episodes. Is it gonna be one of those things where at the end of it I tell you that it wasn't worth it? And there's a high probability of that, but we'll see. Now, let's talk about a movie that was worth it. And I'll admit I was surprised by it. So, excuse me. you all know I'm not a big fan of horror movies. Generally, horror movies and I don't get along. I'm very jumpy. I scare easily. Things get into the brain and wiggle in there and don't get out, and so then I start hearing bumps in the middle of the night and all kinds of shit like that. I'm not good with horror movies. However, there was one that I saw a preview for, and it looked just darkly funny enough that I was like, I might be interested in this. And so I went and saw The Monkey. Now, The Monkey is based on a Stephen King story, and it's about a toy monkey, like a wind-up toy monkey, that when you wind him up, turn the little key in his back, his lips open and he makes a big old smile. He raises an arm and he twirls the drumstick, and then he plays the drum and he plays his music. And when he's done playing music, somebody tends to die in a very, very horrible, seemingly accidental way. It's a very Final Destination kind of thing. Like, you look at how these people died and you're like, oh, that's an accident, but fuck, that was messed up. And isn't it an accident, or did the monkey kill him? That kind of thing. And as it turns out, there's this monkey. Well, these two twin brothers, they end up with the monkey. Various things happen. And they think that they need to get rid of it. So they get rid of the monkey, or at least they think they did. And then 25 years later, monkey shenanigans start up again, and they have to, it has to be dealt with. And I'll tell you what, like I said, it was so darkly funny. I found myself laughing at so many different parts, even parts where people are being just gruesomely killed. You couldn't help but laugh, and it's sickly funny, and at the same time, it's just done so well. It's done so well, and I was entertained the whole time. I would see it again, because I have this feeling there's probably little things all throughout that you might miss. But I cannot recommend The Monkey highly enough. That was a huge surprise for me. And in terms of a horror movie, for sure, that is not one. I mean, I don't tend to recommend horror movies often, but I was all in for The Monkey. So give The Monkey a shot. I liked it. That's what I've got for the Villiger Report. I haven't really, I kind of went antique shopping again this weekend. Hit the antique malls. Didn't find any cool ashtrays this time. I did find a Wendy's ashtray that I was real tempted to buy, but the guy wanted like $40 for it, and it's like, I like it better when they don't know what they have versus somebody who prices it accordingly. I like looking for the deals. I don't want somebody that knows what they've got. So I passed on the Wendy's ashtray, but I did see another ashtray that actually was a cigar ashtray. It was really badass. But that guy, I don't know where he got his pricing for this. He wanted like $67 for this stupid ashtray. And I can safely tell you, I don't have a single ashtray that I have paid anywhere near that much money for. Some of the nicest ashtrays that I have in this house, I didn't pay anywhere close to that. So I'm not going to start with a generic ashtray from like the 70s and pay $67 to some guy at an antique mall. That's just not going to happen. So anyway, that was my weekend.
It's time to fly high with Blackbird Cigars. Blackbird Cigars offers you remarkable quality using the most delicate and finest tobacco to always ensure that you're receiving unsurpassed cigars. Blackbird Cigars strives to give you undoubted repeating flavor for every cigar you smoke and impressive quality so that you can always expect greatness. Wow. Check out their website for a full list of stores carrying Blackbird Cigars and give them a test flight. Blackbird Cigars can't clip our wings.
You know, the Finch. I've been smoking this cigar throughout this episode, and this is one of those cigars that I remember distinctly a long while back, smoking, and being like, it's too light for my taste, too light for my palate. It's just not for me. This cigar, I don't know if they've changed it or if I've changed or what, but there's a little bit more to it. It's still nowhere near as bold as some of the other offerings from Blackbird, but it's definitely still your start your morning with a cup of coffee and this cigar. But I would say that it's a little stronger than I remembered. The Retro Hail has a little bit more going on with it. I just did one of those through the stinger and encountered quite a bit of peppery spice. So there is something to the Blackbird Finch, and so if you're looking for a good start your day off morning cigar, to go along with that coffee, or in my case, an evening cigar with some iced tea. I actually this is hitting all right. I'm digging it. I'm every once in a while you got to go back over a cigar. You can't keep it in mind I didn't like that. I mean, some cigars I can tell you I don't care for it. But it doesn't hurt to go back and revisit a cigar once in a while just to see, because it might surprise you. Anyway, so speaking of Blackbird cigars, the Bikers Against Child Abuse, or BACA, is a non-profit organization that has been working to keep kids safe and raise awareness about child abuse since 1995. Their goal is to remove fear from the lives of physically and sexually and emotionally abused kids, an important step on the road to healing. The group also assists in funding therapy and therapeutic activities. Bikers who volunteer with the organization are committed to making children feel safe, and they are called upon to help kids in verified child abuse cases by law enforcement officials and child care agencies, as well as others who may be close to a particular case. And their presence, whether it's at a court proceeding or parole hearing, accompanying a child to and from school, or even just in the neighborhood at night, is meant to intimidate abusers. These are not vigilantes. Think of them as bodyguards. Wouldn't you feel safer with your own formidable group of Harley-riding guys on your side? That's the point. These guys, they go around, they're in the leather vests, they're meant to look like big, intimidating biker guys, but they're meant to do that to help the kids feel safe. So for more information, see bacaworld.org and be like the Bikers Against Child Abuse and Blackbird Cigars, and don't let anybody clip your wings. I came across that organization doing a little Googling, and it just seemed like such an incredible way for people that are, in the biker community to help out. I'm the furthest you'll find from a biker. I don't ride a motorcycle. I have no coordination to do so. That's not my lifestyle. But I know there are a number of you in the cigar community, and there's in the Venn diagram there is that little crossover between the two, and so maybe some of my biker listeners, if you haven't heard of BACA or whatever, check out BACA, BACA world.org, and you know what? Help a kid that's having a hard time. It might be a good thing to do. So anyway, well guys, it's a short one today. I'll admit we've had some schedule adjustments going on over here at the pulpit. I had a guest that was I was supposed to record with last week. However, the weather, the poor weather, the snow and everything like that kind of prevented both of us. And actually, in his case, it was the snow. In my case, it was the cold. Neither one of us were able to smoke. And so it was kind of one of those, do we just want to wait until we can actually enjoy a cigar? Because it was with a cigar manufacturer, and I didn't want to have him on if I couldn't actually smoke his cigar. And so we came up with a date in March that we're going to get together and chat. So, that got pushed back. And then there was another cigar thing that I had planned on doing today. Timing-wise, it didn't work for a couple of reasons. Timing-wise, it didn't work out for this episode. But that will be on a very, very, very soon future episode. And so, we'll have that happen. So this one kind of just slipped through the cracks, and it was like, well, hell, what am I going to talk about? And so I figured, I'm getting ready to have this conference call about Pulpit Fest, so why don't I see if anybody has any thoughts and suggestions about what they would like to see at Pulpit Fest before we have that call. So, again, guys, drop your letters, drop your notes via email or social media, or drop me a line and let me know, what cigar events you've gone to, what you liked, what you didn't like. Were you at Pulpit Fest in previous years? What would you like to see? What parts of it did you like a lot? That kind of thing. I'm looking for feedback. I'm looking for feedback to make it better. So you can reach out to me through Instagram at the Cigar Pulpit. You can also reach out. I'm on Facebook through the Pulpit Parishioners group. That's a fun by invite. Well, you got to get approved, but once you're approved, you're in. It's a fun group. So if you're not in on that, click the little button, ask to join, and I get on that pretty quickly. I'm on Twitter/X. I am on Rumble, so you can watch this on Rumble. It's like YouTube, so go over there, make an account, subscribe, and don't miss an episode. I am on YouTube, so you can watch this on YouTube as well. But Rumble's is cigar friendly, whereas YouTube, at some point or another, they're coming for all of us. And then Spotify. If you are a Spotify listener, you can also be a Spotify viewer because I do Spotify videos, so you can watch this on Spotify. And again, if you have a call, either about cigar events or anything in particular that you want to call into the hotline about, call the hotline, area code 863-874-0000. Leave me a message. Let me know what you're thinking, what your thoughts are, and I'll be happy to address those in an upcoming Ask the Pulpit episode. Final thoughts on the Finch. As I was just saying, I'm pleasantly surprised. It is a little bit more... it has a little bit more going for it than I remembered. And I would definitely smoke this in the morning with a cup of coffee. I think that would be a very pleasant way to start your day. Otherwise, guys, this has been another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. I'm Nick. Everybody stay safe, stay smoky, and fuck cancer. I did hear from Noah, and he has agreed to fight the 6 little people at Pulpit Fest in a boxing match. However, it's just a matter of we need to find 6 little people for him to box, and then he needs to get to training because it's been a minute. So, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but he at least agreed to do it. So that's half the battle. Later.